Before the sun rises, before the forest fully wakes, a flash of red appears in the cold morning light. On the highest branch of a cedar tree, the red knight takes his place. He is small, but he does not act small. His chest burns against the pale dawn. His black mask cuts sharply across his face. His crest rises like a crown. Then he opens his beak. The first sound of the morning does not belong to the wind or the trees. It belongs to him. A clear whistle cuts through the frost-covered meadow. Toos. It may sound beautiful to the forest. It means something far more serious. It is a declaration: I am here. This territory is mine. This morning begins with my voice. Every note carries information. A strong song means strength. A complex song means experience. A steady rhythm means confidence. Somewhere nearby, another male listens. He is not listening for beauty. He is listening for weakness, a broken rhythm, a tired note, a hesitation. In the bird world, sound is not decoration. Sound is status. Sound is warning. Sound is law. The red knight sings again, faster this time. His throat feathers tremble with each vibration. His body becomes a living instrument, and his song writes an invisible border across the air. But he is not singing only for rivals. A female cardinal watches from a nearby branch. She is quieter, softer in color, but no less important. She listens carefully. Then something unusual happens. She sings back. Unlike many songbirds, the female cardinal has a voice of her own. Her song is not an echo. It is an answer. Together, they form a duet. Not just romance, not just music, a partnership, a vocal contract, a bond made in melody. But peace never lasts long in the wild. At the edge of the territory, another male lands. The resident cardinal stops. His crest flattens. His eyes sharpen. His posture lowers. The forest shifts from music to menace. Then comes the warning chip. 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 Short. Fast. Direct. The intruder puffs himself up, trying to look larger than he is. This is visual bluffing, the ancient art of looking dangerous. But the red knight does not retreat. He launches from the branch. A streak of red cuts through the morning air. The two birds clash in a blur of feathers, wings, and instinct. For a moment, the forest becomes a battlefield. Then, just as quickly, it ends. The intruder disappears into the thicket. The border is secure. The red knight returns to his high perch and shakes his feathers back into place. As if restoring his armor after battle, the female joins him. Soft chirps replace the alarm. Soon, they move together across the ground, searching for seeds. Their world is not only conflict, it is cooperation. The male finds food and brings it to her. Back to back. He passes the seed. Toos. It may look like a kiss, but in the wild, affection and survival are often the same thing. Mate feeding is trust, nutrition, and commitment. Then the shadow of a hawk crosses the grass. Everything stops. The male releases a thin, high-pitched alarm, not loud, not dramatic, but urgent enough to freeze the world around him. The female becomes still. The sparrows nearby become still. Even the leaves seem to pause. The red night has become the sentry of the forest. The hawk passes. The warning worked. Life resumes. But the wild has no true silence. Only temporary safety. Later, a human observer places a mirror near the territory. The Cardinal sees another red male staring back. A rival that never retreats. He attacks the reflection again and again. He does not know he is fighting himself. In a high-stress world, a reflection is not philosophy. It is a threat. Only when the mirror is removed does the phantom war end. The red knight flies to water. At the bird bath, he splashes, washes, and resets. Even hygiene has a social order. Other birds wait in the bushes. When he leaves, a blue jay takes his place. In the forest, everyone knows the hierarchy. Spring deepens. The red knight perches in a dogwood tree, surrounded by flowers. But now, the story shifts. The female leads the search for a nest site. She is the architect. He is the supplier. She chooses a dense fork in a honeysuckle bush hidden. Protected. Private. Privacy, in the wild, is luxury. He brings twigs. She weaves. He stands guard. Together, they build a fortress small enough to fit in the palm of a hand. Then danger returns. A squirrel climbs toward the nest. The Cardinal lunges at its face. No hesitation. No calculation. Just ferocity. The squirrel retreats. Bravery is not measured by size. Soon, the nest is finished, a cup of grass. Bark. An instinct. Night falls. The female settles into the nest. The male rests nearby, separate but watchful. A sentry in the dark. Even a night needs sleep. When the moon rises over the forest canopy, the song pauses, but only until morning. Then comes the next chapter. 3 eggs lie in the nest. The legacy of the song. The workload doubles. The male brings beetles, moths, and caterpillars. Anything soft enough and rich enough to feed the future. The female leaves only briefly. The male sometimes takes her place for a few moments. Parenting becomes a relay of trust. Then rain arrives. Heavy, cold, relentless. The female spreads her wings over the eggs like a living umbrella. Above her, the male sits exposed on a branch, shielding the nest from above. Water runs down his red feathers, the color of endurance. When the storm passes, both birds shake themselves dry. Resilience, for cardinals, is not individual, it is shared. Hatching day comes. A tiny beak breaks through the shell. A blin. Featherless chick enters the world. Then another. Then another. 3 yellow mouths open at once. The red knight flies harder than before. Now the song is no longer the center of life. Food is. The chicks grow quickly. In days. Their bodies change. But they are not red. They are brown. Dul. Hidden. For youth. Beauty is dangerous. Camouflage comes first. The young birds stumble. Hope. Fall. And call. Failure is part of the curriculum. The father guides them with patience. Soon, while the first fledglings are still learning to survive, a second brood begins. The cycles of life overlap. For a time, the Red Knight becomes almost a single father, feeding noisy teenagers while the female begins again. Then the young try to sing. At first, it sounds broken, a clumsy whistle, a failed phrase, a voice not yet ready for the forest. The father sings back perfectly. The master corrects the student. The young bird tries again, slightly better. He is learning more than a song. He is learning the dialect of his territory. Autumn arrives. The leaves turn red, as if the forest itself is remembering him. Pears loosen. Flocks form. Winter is coming, and numbers mean safety. Dozens of cardinals gather in berry bushes. Old rivalries soften into a temporary truce for survival. They follow one another to food. They warn one another of cats. When danger appears, 10 cardinals chip at once. The sound becomes pressure. Social pressure becomes a weapon. The predator leaves. Victory through volume. Then snow falls. The Red Knight becomes a flame against the white world. He huddles in cedar branches. He waits on fences with others. He cracks sunflower seeds with his powerful beak. Even in January, he feeds the female. The bond does not disappear with the breeding season. It is maintained through winter. At night, the flock moves into evergreens. Feathers puff outward, trapping warm air. Nature's insulation. A fox passes beneath the tree. The cardinals remain silent, unseen, untouched. In late winter, one note appears, a rehearsal for spring. The flock begins to break apart. Pairs return. Territories return. The Red Knight returns to his old branch and sings again, I am here. This is mine. But why is he red? In a world of green, brown, and shadow, why wear a color so visible? Because red is a gamble. And in nature, costly signals tell the truth. A bright red male has eaten well. He has found the right food. He has survived despite being seen. His color is not vanity. It is evidence. In the cardinal's world, beauty is social currency. But the armor must be maintained. Sometimes. The Red Knight picks up ants and rubs them across his feathers. The ants release formic acid, a natural defense against parasites. This strange ritual is called anting, part grooming, part medicine, our instinct. Other birds watch and learn. Then he eats the ant. Waste not. Want not. The Red Knight does not live alone in his world. He watches titmice and follows their discoveries. He listens to mockingbirds. Sometimes, a mockingbird steals his song. The cardinal tilts his head, confused for a moment, then sings a more complex version. The original reclaims the spotlight. Summer brings heat. The cardinal pants with his beak open. Social life slows under the sun. He finds water dripping from a garden hose. Soon, other birds gather. Even an oasis has rules. Young birds drink. Adults wait. Dominance appears and disappears with each movement. Then danger enters the nest, a cowbird egg. A social parasite. The cardinal looks at the strange egg. Recognition becomes survival. The burden is rejected. The future must belong to his own brood. Later, the Red Knight glides through the trees. Flap. Glide. Flap. Glide. Energy saved for the next battle. He lands in a berry bush. For once. The mood is lighter. He tosses a berry. Another cardinal joins. They chase through the leaves. Maybe play. Maybe practice. Maybe both. Then a snake moves near the base of the bush. The game ends instantly. A low alarm call spreads through the branches. The birds rise higher. Together, they watch the danger pass. The forest is full of conversations we rarely hear. Some songs are public. Some are private. Hidden in the brush, the male and female exchange soft notes. A whisper song. A private channel that does not carry to rivals. She preens the feathers around his head and cleans the black mask across his face. The night closes his eyes. Trust in its purest form. Then another cardinal chips nearby. The social world intrudes. The pair separates. Back to work. At the border, two males exchange songs without fighting. This is the dear neighbor effect. Not every rival must become an enemy. Sometimes, the smartest fight is the one avoided. A storm gathers. The pressure changes. The cardinal eats faster, then disappears into deep evergreens. Shelter is intelligence. The first drop of rain hits a red feather, then the sky opens. Inside the pine, the red night waits, still and quiet, conserving energy. When the sun returns, he emerges and sings a long, clear note, the all-clear signal. Other birds begin to move again. The forest follows the leader. There are rare cardinals that challenge every rule. Birds split between red and brown, living anomalies. Others may treat them with caution at first, but survival has a way of making room for difference. In winter, even the unusual may find a place in the flock. Humans notice the red night too. Birdwatchers gather. Children stop. Cameras rise. The cardinal becomes more than a bird, a cultural icon. A messenger of seasons. A symbol of loyalty, courage, and presence. He learns that humans often mean food. A seed on a rail becomes a bridge between species. Meanwhile, one of spring's young birds is nearly grown. His beak changes from dark to orange, the final sign of maturity. He finds his own small corner of the woods. Then comes his first true territorial song. His father hears him and answers. For a moment, two generations sing across the forest. Then the older bird grows quiet. A passing of the vocal torch. The young male attracts a mate. He feeds her. The old tradition continues. A hawk appears again in the sky. The test never ends. But this time, the young male gives the alarm perfectly. He has learned the language. The pair hides. The hawk passes. Suches. Late afternoon settles across the forest. A cardinal lands against a white fence. Iconic beauty. Social depth. He looks straight into the lens. The witness of the woods. Then he takes flight. A streak of red moving between two worlds, city and forest. Wildness and home. Instinct and adaptation. At dusk, the cardinals gather on power lines. Branch and hidden roosts. Soft chatter fills the trees. The social debrief of the day. The sun sinks. The colors fade to gray. The red bird is the last thing to vanish. Night belongs to the silent. An owl calls in the distance. The cardinal does not move. Moonlight touches his red chest. Silver on scarlet. His heart slows. The biological cost of the song begins to fade into rest. In the darkness, the battles are over. The alarms are quiet. The duets are memory. But the song is not gone. It waits inside him. Then, in the east, the first gray light appears. The curtain rises again. The red knight stirs. He shakes his head. He hops to the highest branch. He assumes the position. And once more, before the world is fully awake, he opens his beak. A clear whistle pierces the morning. I am the Red Knight. Social, loyal, fearless. And as the forest listens, the song begins again.